Okay, play the tape, Chief. I want Ethan to hear everything right now.
Where do you think you're going?
My limo's double parked.
Yeah, her limo is double
Shut up.
parked.
You two are gonna watch this tape along with the rest of us.
This is the miracle I've been praying for. The proof that I needed ever since Gwen burned the original proof in the incinerator at the mansion. Now you're gonna hear Gwen, in her own words, admit to everything that she has done to tear us apart. How she has lied to you about me all along.
Evil must have possessed you good people to try to trick me, but there is no way I will be a party to baptizing an evil witch like Tabitha.
I knew it. All that talk about being baptized is the key to living forever is a load of hogwash. All you mortals are the same, even you, a so-called man of the church. You don't forgive, and you don't forget, and you sure as hell don't practice what you preach.
That angry tone? That nasty attitude? Is that you, Tabitha?
No, Padre. It's Mother Teresa.
Merciful heaven, how can you, a pawn of the dark side, be in this holy place and not be consumed by fire?
Because, Father, blind as a bat, I'm not a witch anymore.
Lying hag.
No, it's true, Father. The other night at the rehearsal dinner when Vicky and Vincent tried to poison everybody with mushroom sauce, Tabitha gave up her powers to save your parishioners.
And what a stupid mistake that was. I gave up my powers for nothing. And now I get grief from the likes of you. The religious rep in Harmony, so-called. Well, you can stay here and die with the rest of them, because believe me, I am not begging to be baptized. Come on, Endora. I've changed my mind. Zap us out of here. Yeah, and Fluffy too. Oh, zap us to us. Precious. Leave these mortals to die. That's exactly what they deserve.
Please, God, let the truth finally come out.
At least Ivy was dumb enough to keep proof that Ethan was Sam's son at Pilar's house and not in a safety deposit box. Teresa found the proof and scanned it into her laptop, from which we sent it to the tabloids.
Mother, that was genius. Teresa never could explain why she didn't out Ethan as a Bennett when the proof came from her computer.
Everyone blamed Teresa for ruining Ethan's life, including Ethan. And Julian divorced Ivy, allowing me to marry my Pookie and get my hands on all that delicious Crane money.
Who knew that J.T. Cornell kept digging into Ethan and Teresa's lives, eventually expanding his excavation to where he had dirt on half of Harmony?
Which I helped him blackmail.
It was J.T. who found out that Ethan, not Julian, was little Ethan's father. Teresa finally got the truth out of him in Rome, but she was afraid to tell Ethan after she'd lost custody of Jane.
Once we found out, we used Teresa's fear of losing Ethan against her so she'd keep on keeping quiet. It wasn't until she got uppity about telling Ethan the truth that we went back to JT's handy-dandy USB stick and found dirt on Pilar.
Who would have thought that Pilar, the saint of Harmony, killed a man and was responsible for his children being murdered in front of their mother?
That fact gave us absolute power over Pilar and Teresa. Threatening to unleash Juanita Vasquez on those low-life Lopez Fitzgeralds kept Teresa's yap shut about little Ethan being Ethan's son. Teresa couldn't even tell Ethan that their son could donate part of his liver to save your son, Ethan.
I loved how Teresa made herself look mean and selfish to Ethan while we were looking for a donor.
I was so proud of how you handled that whole thing, honey.
And it worked. Teresa was too selfless to let an innocent child die, so she tarnished herself in Ethan's eyes to secretly save Jonathan.
Going to Mexico to reason with Juanita afterwards was vintage Teresa. Only that doe-eyed little dunce would think she could make peace with the rabid bitch who ran the Mexican mob. The rest, as they say, is history. Not only are we forcing Teresa to stay disguised as Gertrude so Ethan will recommit to you, Juanita He's headed to Harmony to kill Pilar's entire family, including in-laws and close friends.
You'll email me the funeral notices, won't you, Mother?
With pleasure.
No.
You were willing to let Pilar and her whole family be killed?
You know, I always knew you had no scruples. But to be an accessory to murder?
What? I never killed anybody. I mean, okay, there was the time that Eve drank that poison punch, but she didn't die, and then I... Oops. Never mind.
Juanita almost killed Mama and Teresa in Mexico. If she hadn't been caught tonight, she would have killed us all, including Mama's grandchildren.
You know how losing Marty changed me. And how desperate I was to get him back, and all the horrible things I did to Luis and Fancy after that. Yet you were still willing to let my son die just to get Ethan back. You bitch!
You know, you guys are so missing the point here, okay? Juanita never would have found any of you if Teresa hadn't gone down to Mexico.
Exactly. I mean, that is what opened the door for Juanita to track down Pilar and her family here in Harmony. Not anything that my mother and I did.
So you admit it? You admit that you lied to me all these years? You revealed my true paternity. You did it! Yeah? And you kept Teresa from me? And you were willing to let our son die just so you could hold on to me? And to top it all off, you were willing to let Pilar and her whole family be slaughtered just so you and I could have a nice, happy ending with Jonathan? How nice that would have been, right? Gwen, you are an evil bitch.